Three American jets have been shot down, apparently by friendly fire. So the Kuwaitis shot down their friends' jets. How did these jets get shot down by their own?
I think this is not the first time that friendly fire incident has taken place with American aircraft. It has happened with their helicopters before, and also this is not the last time that something like this is going to happen, which came as a surprise to all the neighboring countries in the region. In my opinion, probably prior warning or intelligence wasn't given to the forces which were there in the neighboring countries that the Americans are doing something like this, and this is the reason why when things got escalated, some incidents like this do take place. We all know that because of sanctions imposed over the years, Iran does not have any air force worth its while. When you come to any conflict scenario in the future, I think both are essential. You cannot replace one with the other. So it is essential. I mean, you cannot replace fighter aircraft with drones, not for the next 10 to 15 years in my opinion.
So you're saying essentially what has happened in Iran is because of the paucity of spare parts, because of sanctions,
Yes.
Iran created a parallel ecosystem,
Correct.
which was about drones and about missiles, etc., because they did not have an air force.
Yes.
Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Daily Brief by DefenceHQ. And today to discuss what is happening in the aerospace domain in the Iran war, I have with me Air Vice-Marshal Anil Golani, Director General, Center for Aerospace, Power and Strategic Studies. So Jai Hind, and a very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for having me on your show. It's a privilege for me.
Three American jets have been shot down, apparently by friendly fire. So the Kuwaitis shot down their friends' jets. How does this happen? I've been trying to explain identification friend or foe to people, but I would like you to spend a couple of minutes on this and explain how did these jets get shot down by their own friends? I mean, they're on the same side of this conflict. How did that happen, sir? For our audience, please.
So, I think this is not the first time that friendly fire incident has taken place with American aircraft. It has happened with their helicopters before. And also, this is not the last time that something like this is going to happen. But what we need to understand is that so far what we've heard is it is because of friendly fire from Kuwaitis. But I mean, if you look at the Iranians, probably they may be claiming that they have done this. The good thing is that all the aircrew have ejected and they've been recovered safely. But when you carry out a large scale operation like this, which came as a surprise to all the neighboring countries in the region, in my opinion, probably prior warning or intelligence wasn't given to the forces which were there in the neighboring countries that the Americans are doing something like this, and this is the reason why when things got escalated, some incidents like this do take place.
So also the Iranian Air Force, for all practical purposes, is grounded, sir. It's not been able to take off properly, and I'm sure there have been a couple of sorties here and there, but largely it is seen as ineffective, and yet, the Iranians can pressurize the entire Middle East. They've hit as far as Cyprus. Are using drones, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles. Do you think that is a capability that most countries today want to have? Because we have an authorized 42 squadron strength, sir, and we have 29 operational as of right now. We bought 114 Rafales, and so much more is happening, sir, in that domain. There is a contract out for the Tejas, Mark 1, Mark 2 is coming along. People are talking about AMCA, monies have been put there, all of that. Do you think both these things contradict each other? I'm talking about the Indian context, sir.
So, talking specifically about Iran, I think we all know that because of sanctions imposed over the years, Iran does not have any air force worth its while. So, therefore, they knew this all along, and they concentrated on missiles and they concentrated on drones, which they are producing indigenously and in large numbers within their own country, and this is how they were using air defense. When you come to any conflict scenario in the future, I think both are essential. You cannot replace one with the other. if the case for drones and missiles was there, then why did the Americans or the Israelis use aircraft and fighter aircraft and jets over there? We saw this last year in Operation Midnight Hammer and Rising Lion. We saw it closer to home in Operation Sindoor also. So, when you're looking at air defense, I think it is necessary to have a very strong layered air defense.
That was my next question, actually, sir. But
Yeah, so if you look at the Indian scenario, I think when you look at the number of fighter squadrons, we've done the right thing by going in for the Rafale, because this was the best platform of choice. We already have, 36 operating and 26 more on order, and we've already got people trained on it, logistics, every which way a G2G
spare
contract would be
parts,
ideal.
the
Yeah.
entire ecosystem is in place,
Correct,
sir.
correct. So, it is essential. I mean, you cannot replace fighter aircraft with drones, not for the next 10 to 15 years, in my opinion.
So you're saying essentially what has happened in Iran is because of the paucity of spare parts, because of sanctions,
Yes,
Iran created a parallel ecosystem,
correct.
which was about drones
Drones,
and about missiles,
Yes.
etc., because they did not have an air force.
Yes, yes.
Now, sir, now Trump has, he said there will be massive retaliation because apparently they've hit embassies and they've hit consulates, etc., and US troops have died. What do you think will happen now, next steps? And it has to happen from the air because this boots on ground is not something that they would like to do immediately. My question to you specifically is, what next? Heavy bombers? Are they going to bomb their nuclear sites once more? Or strategic headquarters? Or the Revolutionary Guards? What do you think is going to happen? If you were the planner, what would you do? How would you look at this entire scenario as of today, sir?
So I think when you're looking at the utilization of air power, which has become the primary instrument of choice in conflicts across the world in the recent past, I think air power has done what it could do. Subsequently, what needs to be done, the Americans and the Israelis have to, the strategic objectives are not known. If you look at regime change, the past is, there in front of you. That regime change, when you carry out or effect, by decapitating leadership, it doesn't give you the results that you would like or you would seek. And boots on the ground, I don't know if America is willing to put boots on the ground or not. But unless they invest and think about the future, you see what is the state in Afghanistan, you see what's happened in Iraq. I think this region is going to be in a mess for times to come. And Israel, on its parts, just wants to decimate the entire military capability of Iran for good. I don't know whether they can achieve that or not.
Do you see the Gulf states and do you see the Middle East, especially these oil-rich countries? I'm talking about Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, all of these countries who have been hit. Sir. Even Oman has been hit, by the way. I don't know why Oman was hit, sir, but they hit Oman also. And so many other countries. Do you see them investing more in air defense? And if so, do you see them using Chinese platforms or Western platforms? Because Saudi Arabia uses Chinese platforms also, and it uses American platforms also, and clearly Chinese platforms. If you look at Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, you look at Venezuela or Iran, they don't seem to be working so well, sir. I mean, they've not been terribly effective, but American platforms have been. So, sir, do you think they're going to invest more in AD platforms from now on?
So I think more than air defense platforms, if you see everything that they have is Western and American origin, the Gulf states. I think apart from investing in more air defense platforms, I think they need to talk it through to the Americans as to what kind of a protection that they would seek in return for letting America utilize their bases for operations in the Middle East region. I think that is the moot point or question, whether the Americans can guarantee them security over their airspace in lieu of using their bases like they're doing in Bahrain and Qatar and all.
But I still don't understand, sir, when these countries are so rich, they have wealth, they have money to spend on defense, sir. Why don't they? How long can you be dependent upon America to come and save you when countries like Iran are attacking you?
No, so they will buy American equipment. What I'm saying is that they will buy American equipment, which in turn gives America, the defense industry, what it needs, and it gives these countries the protection that they seek. I very much doubt whether they would go in for Chinese, air defense equipment and view in this region.
Now, there is a thought which comes to mind that since all these countries are Sunni Muslim countries, and all these countries have been attacked roughly on the same day or within 24 to 48 hours. All of them are attacked by Iran. In the future, whether there is a regime change or not, sir, doesn't matter. Maybe there is, maybe there is not. But for the future, do you see all of them coming together? There has been talk of, in another context, not in this context, but another context, of an Islamic NATO. That has been the flavor of the season, largely with Pakistan putting in social media posts and Turkey saying, yes, yes, we want to do this. But both Pakistan and Turkey, they're not Arabs, sir. They belong to another subset of people. Now, in case of the Arabs, do you see them coming together and defending because they have been attacked? Turkey has not been attacked. Pakistan has not been attacked.
So, I think this talk, the Islamic bomb, Islamic NATO, which is new, you also found that when it came to the Palestine question in Israel, the countries in the Middle East were never united. They would side either with the Americans based on their interest and based on the oil or the wealth that they have. So, in my mind, Islamic NATO is a distinct possibility. I don't think that is going to happen.
Uh, about America, now people are saying that all these drones that the Iranians are using, these are, some of them are expensive,
Right.
most of them are cheap. Yes, sir. Shy drones, and they have them in their thousands, sir. So they overwhelm the AD system of a nation, and then whatever gets left actually does damage on the ground. My question here is, sir, that there has been talk about America not having the kind of equipment or the kind of ammunition that it needs because it's been spread out. Much of it has been sent to Ukraine and given to Israel, etc. America's other partners. America does not have that production capacity or capability. So what happens in the scenario that Iran keeps on firing drones and ballistic missiles? I mean, Iran has underground production facilities, and they'll manage, sir. They'll manage from North Korea. They'll manage. They're sinking. They'll do their best. They're fighting with some sort of determination that we can see. What happens? Does America actually have the assets to keep on fighting? Trump said 4 to 5 weeks. Can they sustain for 4 to 5 weeks, sir?
So, you're right in your assessment that, cheap drones to shoot them down, costly air defense weapon systems is not worth its while. And that is why the Americans and the Israelis, their thrust is on decimating the capability of Iran totally. Now, it's a long game. This conflict, in my opinion, is not going to end in the next 2 or 3 days or a week or so. Iran will keep doing it. More than, the appetite of the Americans in terms of material capability of air defense systems and weapons is how much appetite do the American people have, how many casualties that they suffer, because both America and Israel are very averse to, human casualties. Now, if something like that happens, then, there are chances of the conflict probably coming to an end. Otherwise, I don't see this happening very soon.
There was a report in the media, sir, that India has now shown interest in 5 more squadrons of S-400, sir. So we ordered 5 initially, sir, in I think 2018, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
We got 3. 2 are pending, sir. 2 will come possibly in this year, early next year. And India has shown an interest in 5 more squadrons, which will, if they come and if this deal gets signed, it's going to be in 10 squadrons of S-400s. Please tell me, sir, why is that so? Why is India investing so much into a Russian system, knowing fully well that the Americans could again slap sanctions on you?
I think, the India-US partnership has grown beyond the stage where today we would expect sanctions from America in terms of CATSA and all, because it has happened in the past. I mean, when you look at your own interest, I think the S-400 performed admirably
sir.
during the
Operation
Operation Sindoor. And to keep our relationship with Russia going, India will get into that. And I think we have the stomach to navigate our way through this, the America and the Russian imbroglio in terms of diplomatic relations with both the countries.
Sir. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, with Air Vice-Marshal Anil Golani, we discussed a host of issues, and his answers were absolutely to the point. We talk about air power, we talk about ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones, and Iran has been using all these extremely effectively, and sir did tell us why that was so. It was not out of choice. They say that necessity is the mother of invention. When everything was blocked out for Iran, when their air force could not even fly, it was not an effective air force, then what they did was they spoke to North Korea, they spoke to China, they spoke to Russia and managed to get all these missiles and drones in place. And now they have absolute chaos all across the Middle East. Thank you very much for watching the Daily Brief by Defense HQ. Thank you very much, sir. And Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you.